Tonight, we'll have a recap of the Trojan football team's season's opener.
Plus, a new art exhibit opens up in Troy. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for September 4th, 2012. I'm Deatra Montgomery.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thanks for joining us this evening. There are many construction sites around campus, and Rachel Scarborough looks at the development of a project that has been in the works for quite some time.
There has been no movement at the new amphitheater behind Alumni Hall in the past few weeks, and it's not because of the weather. The ground is being prepared for the next step.
We're letting the earthwork or the dirt in that park right now go through what we call a settlement period, just to make sure that we've got the proper compaction and that the dirt that we've put in there and moved around settles and becomes stabilized.
This new amphitheater is not only going to facilitate university functions, residents in the community will also be able to use it.
So when we look at this outdoor facility, it's only the beginning. We do expect that there'll be outdoor concerts. We expect our students and other cultural arts groups in the community and throughout the state and perhaps elsewhere will want to come and participate and put performances.
The amphitheater is an addition to Janice Hawkins Park, but it will not be the last.
We expect this to become one of the premier parks in the state of Alabama, if not the Southeast. What you see happening right now in this park project is only one of many phases of different work that we plan to move forward with and develop in the coming years.
Rachel Scarborough, Troy TrojanVision News.
The project is expected to be complete by early February.
The Trojans took on the UAB Blazers this past weekend to open the football season, but before the matchup on the field, there was another competition between the two schools. The tailgate area at Legion Fields looked a lot like Iron Chef as Troy Executive Chief Clay Lyles took on the UAB Executive Chef Adrian Cordes in a cooking competition before the game. Each chef had to make meals with the secret ingredient, ramen noodles. The meals were judged by a panel of judges, but unlike the results on the field, UAB was the victor of the pregame battle. Organizers hope the Battle of the Chefs will become an ongoing competition and continue next year when UAB visits Troy. Well, Judson, art lovers in Pike County are able to enjoy a variety of artwork right here in Troy.
That is right, Deatra. The Johnson Center for the Arts showcases art from all over the country. Bailey Majors gives us a look at the center's current exhibit.
Pike County's Johnson Center for the Arts offers Troy residents an opportunity to view art from all over the state of Alabama. And currently on display is an exhibit entitled Alabama in the Making, Traditional Arts and Places.
The exhibit is centered around the different regions of the state of Alabama, the Black Belt, the Appalachian Mountains, and the Gulf Coast.
Drinkard says that the Alabama in the Making exhibit is special because the audience is able to be interactive with the artwork.
There are different kiosks for each region of the state with an interactive iPad and TV so that you can watch video clips and hear audio clips that were filmed from around the state.
Drinkard also says that the exhibit is able to reach out to a larger audience because it features the different areas around the state of Alabama.
Mary Allison Haney traveled around the state to work with individual people to film them talking about their region, about things that they have learned from living in their region. So this exhibit was really compiled from people all over the state of Alabama.
Drinkard says that anyone is able to enjoy the art from the Alabama in the Making exhibit and encourages all residents to come and view the art.
An interactive exhibit with iPads and TVs and text panels is such a contemporary, innovative type exhibit, hands-on, and we really have been happy to have this exhibit here.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Alabama in the Making exhibit runs through September 6th. If you would like to view the exhibit, the Johnson Center for the Arts is open Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 5 and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is no admission.
And now taking that look at news from around the state. In Birmingham, police say they're investigating the death of a man found beneath a tree as a homicide case. Police say the man was found dead yesterday morning in North Birmingham. A police spokesman says the weather made it difficult to determine the cause of the man's death, but evidence collected later prompted detectives to investigate it as a homicide.
In Montgomery, federal officials say disaster loans are available to small businesses and other organizations as a result of the drought in Alabama. The loans are available to organizations in Calhoun, Cherokee, Sealybrun, DeLacob, and Etowah counties.
In Tuscaloosa, Veteran Affairs Medical Center is being recognized for its program getting veterans back to work. The vocational rehabilitation program at the West Alabama Hospital has been ranked the best of all VA centers in the United States.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, last week Republicans held their national convention. Tonight the Democratic Party will begin their convention and the First Lady will speak. We'll have a preview of that coming up.
Plus, Justin McNeely will fill you in on all the details of a busy Trojan sports weekend capped off by the Trojan football team kicking off their season.
First of all, I'll let you know whether UAB rained on the Trojans parade in their first game of the season. That story is coming up after the break.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving.
Thank you.
We thank the troops for all the support they've given us. But how do we thank the ones who support them?
Thank you for your service.
Thanks USA provides scholarships to the spouses and children of our troops and helps give a future to the people who support the troops the most.
Thanks for supporting them.
Thank you for your dedication.
Go to ThanksUSA.org to see how you can express your appreciation for what they do for our heroes.
Thank you.
Go to ThanksUSA.org now.
Thank you.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Deatra Montgomery at the Global News Desk. Deatra?
Thanks, Judson. The Democratic National Convention begins tonight in Charlotte. Democrats will approve their party's platform, and First Lady Michelle Obama will address the arena. Randall Pinkston is there with the latest.
The stage is set for First Lady Michelle Obama to make the case her husband deserves a second term.
I think she is dynamic, and I'm just excited.
Cheryl McLeod is proud to display her adoration.
I'm wearing my tribute to Michelle Obama.
McLeod expects the First Lady to appeal to women voters.
As the First Lady, she has been awesome. And as a representative for women, she's been outstanding.
At a rally in Norfolk, Virginia, President Obama said he will watch his wife's speech on TV with their daughters.
Whatever I say here today, it's going to be, at best, a distant second to the speech you will hear tonight from the star of the Obama family, Michelle Obama.
Elaine Bry will introduce Mrs. Obama.
I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a military mom and how much I value that Dr. Biden and Mrs. Obama care about families like mine.
The speakers taking the podium tonight will be talking up the president's accomplishments and highlighting the differences with Republicans.
Delegates are approving a party platform that backs same-sex marriage and abortion rights. Congressman Elijah Cummings says women's issues are important to the president.
He has been the one who has stood up for reproductive rights for women. He's the one who has been consistently out there trying to make sure that women get equal pay.
Democrats hope that message reaches voters outside the convention hall. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Charlotte.
While the Democrats are kicking off their convention in North Carolina, Mitt Romney's running mate is hitting the stomp and continuing to ask voters, are you better off than where you were 4 years ago? We get more from Tara Mergener.
Paul Ryan was back on the campaign trail in the battleground state of Ohio just outside Cleveland.
This is great. Thank you very much.
The Republican vice presidential nominee said President Obama deserves to be a one-term president, just like Jimmy Carter.
If we fired Jimmy Carter then, why would we rehire Barack Obama now?
Ryan also went after Vice President Biden for telling Detroit auto workers the country is better off than it was 4 years ago.
Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive.
General Motors isn't alive where I come from in Janesville.
On CBS this morning, Ryan once again criticized the president for failing to make good on a campaign promise 4 years ago to save a GM plant in Janesville, Wisconsin.
Is that the president said that he'd lead an effort to retool the GM plant, get people back to work. That didn't happen.
Well, Mitt Romney is off the campaign trail practicing for the upcoming presidential debates. The Republican National Committee is attacking the president on TV as the Democrats kick off their convention.
There are always going to be bumps on the road to recovery.
Republicans are slamming the president on unemployment and the economic recovery.
I'm an American, not a bump in the road.
The latest Republican strategy is to label the president a likable guy who can't get the country back on track. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Washington.
Many consumers choose organic foods because they think they are healthier to eat, but new research shows that doesn't mean the foods are more nutritious.
What are we having for snack?
The Alfano family chooses organic as often as possible. They hope it cuts down on pesticides and hormones in their foods.
Fruits and vegetables and dairy for sure, and the meats mostly organic.
New research in Annals of Internal Medicine shows when it comes to nutrition, there's no difference between organic and regular foods.
There are generally the same amount of vitamins, nutrients, regardless of what types of fruits or vegetables you buy.
Researchers reviewed past studies that looked at unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, grains, milk, eggs, as well as chicken, pork, and meat. Researchers did find eating organic fruits and vegetables reduced exposure to pesticide residue 30%, but levels were also within safe limits in non-organic foods.
Nutrition and safety are not reasons to buy organic. However, you may have other reasons to buy organic, such as personal preference. You may think they taste better. You may have a concern that it's more environmentally appropriate or humane in terms of the livestock.
It typically costs more for organic foods and products. Lucia Alfano says her family will keep spending extra for organic because she feels it's best for her children.
To grow healthier without so much bad exposure of these chemicals.
No matter what you choose, experts say it's important to wash all fruits and vegetables before you eat them. Duarte Geraldino for CBS News, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune into Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Jetson.
Thanks, Deatra. Now Justin McGinelli joins us for a look at sports. So, Justin, the Trojans kicked off their season opener for football last weekend, and apparently things went pretty well.
That's right. The Trojan football team was able to get some redemption from them the last time they were up in Birmingham, but I'll get to that and more here in sports. Right. After a disappointing season in 2011, the best medicine for the Trojans would be a win to erase the bad memories. And as Danielle Percival shows us, the Trojans came out strong.
In a series that has come down to the final minute in the past two meetings, the scoreboard looked as if the Trojans coasted in with a 39-29 victory over the Blazers on Saturday. But Coach Larry Blakeney says it was anything but easy.
It's been a tight series. It's always seemingly pretty much, for the most part, been close games, and this, no closer than this one today, man. I couldn't stand much more of that, but I'm proud of the win.
In the first half, the Trojans posted 17 points and could have added more, but a late fumble in the red zone gave the Blazers the spark they needed to score before the half.
Coach Shaughnessy and all those guys, they really helped us build up, our character and, just have some resilience about ourselves, and I think that's what I like about this football team.
In the fourth quarter, the Blazers almost tied the game after a 2-point conversion was ruled complete, only to be overturned. Following that, the Trojans reeled off 2 touchdowns within 30 seconds on the game clock. B.J. Chitty scored on a 25-yard pass, and a fumble recovery by Tony Davis set up a Sean Southward 5-yard TD, his third of the day. Despite the high-scoring affair, the Trojans knew this one would be a close one.
The coaches told us that it wasn't going to be no easy game, and we weren't looking for an easy game. We were looking for it to be a competitive game, and we got what we asked for, and we came out, and we came out on top.
These players know their work is not done, and there are improvements to be made. But undefeated does have a nice ring to it.
I'm great to start off 1-0, man. It's a good feeling, get that bad taste out of our mouth.
They set the bar high. I mean, that's what we focused on game one. We came out, executed. I mean, we had up and down, but at the end of the day, we rose up together.
It was a great win. We needed. We came off a bad season, so you know this right here is some motivation. Motivation for the season. We got a goal of going 13-0, and you know this is just one step down.
Danielle Percival, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
The Trojans were able to get a little bit of payback from their last trip to Birmingham, and they look to prepare for this week's home game against Louisiana Lafayette. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. After a disappointing 0-3 start for the Trojan volleyball team, they flipped the script this past weekend with a 3-match sweep and a tournament title. However, it was not an easy weekend for the Trojans at all, as they had to win 2 tough 5-set matches along the way. The Trojans started the tournament off against the host team UT Martin. The Trojans were able to overcome a 10-9 deficit in the final set to win 25-16, 20-25, 25-17, 15-25, and 15-13. The Trojans were then able to defeat Big East opponent DePaul in 4 sets, 23-25, 25-17, 25-14, and 25-21. Blair Winston led the Trojans with 14 kills, and Brianna Kalidi and Devin Von Pingle each had 11 kills. The Trojans then had to deal with their second 5-set match of the weekend as they took on Wright State. However, just like the first match, the outcome was the same. The Trojans were able to defeat the Raiders 24-26, 25-18, 21-25, 25-17, and 15-10. Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick knows there are some areas that need improvement, but he knows this weekend was a big confidence booster as the Trojans head to play Auburn.
Well, we got some wins under our belt, so that's always an important thing. It's going to be a really difficult match tonight. Auburn's playing well; they're 6-0. We need to really concentrate on what we've been getting better at, and if we do that, we'll stand to be pretty good.
The Trojans and the Tigers will face off tonight in Sartain Hall, but you don't have much time to get there. The game is set for 7 p.m. And while the Trojan soccer team was unable to win the Trojan Classic, they did play some excellent matches and did not lose a game the entire weekend. The Trojans started off the tournament facing Louisiana Tech Friday afternoon. Troy and La Tech battled past regulation time and into 2 overtimes, but the game ended in a 0-0 tie. La Tech controlled a majority of the match, but goalkeeper Maddie Winters was able to keep Tech scoreless. The Trojans next faced off against the Hatters of Stetson University. However, this time the Trojans were able to get on the scoreboard. Chelsea Williams netted a goal in the 8th minute and gave the Trojans a 1-0 lead, and that's how the game would end. Maddie Winters and Caddy Camino Lewis combined for another shutout, their 4th of the season. Coach Chris Bentley knows they have some work to do, but he was pleased with their play this past weekend.
Defensively, we continue to have a little bit of struggle transitioning from defense to attack, but when we do it very well. Our counterattack was on quite a few times this weekend. We created a lot in the counter, caused both teams a lot of problems. So for us, I think when we do it right, it's very good.
With the 1-0-1 record this weekend, the Trojans have not lost a game in their own tournament since a 2010 opening game loss against Mississippi State. And the Trojans continue their impressive weekend in sports as the women's and men's cross-country teams were able to finish 2nd and 3rd respectively. The women's team was led by freshman Julia Ostendorf, who posted a time of 20 minutes and 53 seconds. The Trojans finished 5 points behind Auburn University, who took home the title. Senior Morgan Paulson and junior Haley Davies each posted top 10 times on the day. The men's side did not fare as well, but they still finished in 3rd place. Enoch Karui finished 3rd for the 2nd straight year with a time of 28 minutes and 33 seconds. Sophomore Kemper Morton posted a 5th place finish on the day with a time of 28 minutes and 55 seconds. The Trojans will be back in action on Friday as they travel to Auburn University to take place in the Auburn Invitational. So as you can see, Judson and Deatra, it was a jam-packed weekend for Trojan sports. We were able to go out there and get a bunch of wins, and improve the records along the way. Hopefully we'll have more weekends and more just days like this to come for Trojan sports.
Yeah, with all these sports going, it's really nice to have all this action taking place, and it's really starting to feel like fall semester is kicking in.
You got that right, Judson.
Yeah, and we're winning too, so that's good.
That's even better.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Coming up on TrojanVision Nightly News, a way students can earn scholarship money by reading books.
But first, we've seen some rain today. How long will these gloomy weather conditions stick around, Bree?
We've seen those rain conditions for quite some time now, and it looks like they're here to stay. I'll have more coming up in weather.
We all share a common journey. We wanted to serve our country, stand for something bigger than ourselves, and protect the things we love. Although we were ready to face any mission, help those in need, and make a difference, for some of us, coming home was more of a challenge than we expected. In the service, we had each other's backs. But as veterans, it can sometimes feel like we're all alone, even when surrounded by our loved ones.
At the Veterans Crisis Line, we understand what you're going through, and we can help. It's your call.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Bree Sanders joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Bree, we've had a lot of rain come in last night and today. Is that rain going to stay, or does it plan on going away for the next week?
Well, we have had a lot of rain come in last night, today, and last week, and it looks like that rain will be here to stay for a few more days. I'll have more coming up in a minute, though. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's kind of gloomy outside right now. It may even be drizzling, so if you're headed to class or headed home from work, you may want to grab that umbrella to keep you out of those conditions. Taking a look at our current conditions right now, we have mostly cloudy skies, temperatures at 76 degrees, dew points at 71 degrees, humidity is at 86%, barometers at 29.91 inches and falling. Winds are coming in from the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 76, a low of 67. There was about 4 inches of rain today. The sun rises at 6:14 a.m. and it should set at 7:03 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state, overall the state is experiencing some mid-80 degree temperatures. Mobile coming in at 85, Huntsville with a high at 86, Birmingham and Montgomery at 79, Troy at 76, Phoenix City at 79, and Dothan at 78. Looking at our temperatures in our area, we have some upper 70 degree temperatures right now going on through our state, and as we head throughout the rest of the southeast into the Carolinas, those temperatures get a little bit warmer until about the mid-80s. Looking at our temperatures around the United States, here in California, they have a mixture of temperatures. They go from the mid-90s to about the mid-60s, about a 30 degree difference, and as we head back through our area, those temperatures get a little bit, I wouldn't say warmer, I'll say those temperatures lighten up just a little bit. Current surface map, we have a few low and high pressure systems coming in through our area, bringing those precipitation forecast for later on this week. Current surface map close in our area. It looks like we have a little bit of rain coming through the southernmost part of our state. A few low and high pressure systems coming in through here. Departure from normal, we're about 4 degrees cooler than what we've been seeing lately. As we head into our precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, we should be experiencing about a fourth of an inch of rain or so in our area. As we go into Wednesday, that rain comes into our area, moving out. Thursday comes back into our area, a little bit lighter. Coming into Friday, that rain tries to push back out of our area, and on Saturday, it seems like it comes back our way a little bit heavier, so you may want to keep that rain gear with you at all times. Tonight's forecast, we have about an 80% chance of rain, possible thunderstorms, winds coming in from the south at about 6 miles per hour with a low of 72 degrees. So tonight will be much like last night. We'll have those rain conditions in our area. It will be a little bit warm outside, so you may want to keep that rain gear with you at all times for tomorrow's forecast. We have about a 30% chance of rain, partly cloudy skies, isolated thunderstorms possible tomorrow, winds coming in from the east at about 7 miles per hour with a high of 86. So tomorrow will be much like today. Very warm. We will have those rain conditions in our area, so make sure you keep that rain gear with you at all times. Take a look at our 4-day forecast. As we head into Wednesday, that high gets to 86, that low goes down to 71. Thursday, that high gets to 90, low at 71. Friday, that high goes up to 92 with about a 30% chance of thunderstorms in our area with a low of 72. And Saturday, that high gets to 88. So, Deatra, yes, we've seen that rain in our area today and last night, and it seems like that rain will be here to stay throughout the weekend. So we should definitely keep that rain gear with us at all times.
Well, thank you so much, Bree.
You're welcome.
All right.